Today, we're addressing very common piano practice habits that are probably holding you back. Avoid these 10 pitfalls to enhance your efficiency, technique, and overall musicality. Many pianists automatically start playing a piece from the beginning during every practice session. And then if they make a mistake, they head back to the beginning again. And if they make a mistake again, then they head back to the beginning. And this just happens over and over again, even if they only get to measure 10 before they make a mistake. This habit can cause the middle to the end parts of your piece to be way under practiced. And it teaches our brains to only be able to start from the beginning. I've witnessed several nightmare fuel recital situations where the performer made a mistake in the middle of their piece, not a big deal, but they had to go all the way back to the beginning because that's how they always practiced. And then that same mistake happened again, so they had to return to the beginning again and again until finally they just kind of stopped and had to do the walk of shame back to their seat without finishing. Making a mistake in a recital is no big deal. It happens all the time. But to avoid this horrible, endless loop, split your piece up into sections and practice starting at those different sections. Similar to habit number 1, just playing through a piece from start to finish without pausing might feel fulfilling, like you're really doing a lot. But it often leads to overlooking mistakes and technical issues because it's very easy for our brains to check out. When we allow motor memory to 100% take over our playing, the minute you add any kind of resistance, nerves, tummy ache, headache, a random noise, we realize how fragile motor memory can be. So again, break your practice into focused sections. Practice doesn't make perfect. It makes permanent. Imagine this hypothetical situation. Bob,
What's up?
He's practicing and makes a mistake. So he goes back, tries again, and the mistake happens again. Now this repeats 4 more times, and he finally gets it right, and then he moves on. We have 5 times incorrect and only 1 time correct. When Bob goes back to that troublesome spot in his music, what are the chances that he's going to play it correctly? When you make mistakes over and over again and then only fix them once, you're reinforcing the errors, not the fix. So make sure you're playing correctly more often than incorrectly. We've probably all heard that practicing slowly is crucial for learning new pieces accurately, and that is correct. However, it's best to vary your practice tempos. So practice slow, practice extra slow, moderately, a little fast, very fast, up to tempo, and even a little bit above your tempo, if you can, without losing control. This can greatly improve your adaptability and can show you new musical and technical insights that you might not have noticed before if you're listening. Which brings us to habit number 5, not listening critically. Yes, on some level, we're always hearing the notes as we play, but are we truly listening? Listening critically to yourself play is as important as performing the notes correctly. Are you really bringing out the melody? Is your dynamics contrast effective? Sometimes all we need to say to ourselves is, are we listening? And that can change the way we hear ourselves play. Actively listen to your playing and be critical of what could be improved. Now, sometimes it's difficult to truly listen, especially when we're giving all of our attention just to keep it together technically. So if you're not recording yourself and listening back with a pencil in your hand to make notes, you're missing a golden opportunity. Recording your practice sessions or even just specific pieces or sections of pieces provides you with an audience perspective, helping you catch mistakes and nuances easy to miss while playing. Review your recordings regularly to objectively assess your timing, dynamics, and overall performance. Think of yourself as the teacher as you're listening back. Consistency in fingering is essential for developing muscle memory and learning pieces quickly. Using different fingerings each time you play a passage creates needless confusion and can lead to inconsistency and mistakes, especially under performance pressure or any pressure. Decide on the best fingerings early, write them in your score, and then stick to them. Now, in the beginning stages of learning a piece, I often change my fingering from day to day, but I always write in what I think is best at that moment, and usually my fingers come to a consensus after a week or two, and then I can stick with those. Effective practice is like solving a puzzle. Each challenge has a solution. Approach practice sessions with that problem-solving mindset, analyzing and addressing each mistake or technical challenge as a specific issue to be resolved. So think of something that might help the issue, try it, then reassess. Has it helped or not? If not, think of something else, try it, then reassess. Imagine another hypothetical situation with me. You're watching Jane practice the piano.
Hello!
She gets to a tricky part, plays it, and it doesn't go well. So she immediately says, "Ugh, that always happens. It's such a tricky section, I'll just never get it." And then right away, she tries it again, and it doesn't go well again, and she says, "See, it's impossible, I'll never get it." Without so much as a second of pause, she tries again, and it doesn't go well again. So finally, she gives up and moves on. Now, as the observer, have you noticed any problem solving going on? No, she didn't give herself a chance to think at all. And I see this a lot. The pianist thinks they're trying, but really all they're doing is offering themselves negative and non-constructive feedback. So get in that problem-solving mindset. It's essential to take breaks during practice sessions. Continuous playing without rest obviously can lead to fatigue and injury, but also simply taking your hands off the piano for a moment and taking a breath allows your brain to refocus. And of course, if you find yourself lacking in focus, always take a break. If you're tired and unfocused, at best, your practice will be inefficient, and at worst, you'll actually do yourself more harm than good. Because remember, practice makes permanent. And finally, constantly tackling pieces that are way beyond your current skill level can be discouraging and counterproductive. While it's important to challenge yourself, make sure you're also playing pieces that are at or slightly above your level to build confidence and solidify your technique, so you're not always on the struggle bus. I always like to have at least 3 levels of pieces going. One that's easy for me, one that's at or maybe just slightly above my level, and then one that's challenging enough to make it a long-term project. But if that challenging piece takes you a week to just figure out 2 measures, then that's a sign that it's just too difficult at the moment. By avoiding these 10 habits, you'll not only improve your piano skills more effectively, but also you'll enjoy your practice sessions more. Remember, good practice habits are key to becoming a better pianist. Let me know in the comments which habit you're working on dropping from your routine, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips on improving your piano playing. See you next time.